friends. कुछ लोगों को आने दीजिए, फिर हम सेशन स्टार्ट करेंगे. मेरी आवाज़ क्लियर आ रही कि नहीं, बस मुझे ये मेंशन करते जाइएगा. इज़ माई वॉइस क्लियर और नॉट? गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन. गुड इवनिंग. वेलकम टू गोडॉक्स इंडियाज पेज. सो एक बार मुझे ये क्लियर कर दीजिएगा, मेरी आवाज़ क्लियर आ रही है कि नहीं, एंड द वीडियो इज़ क्लियर टू यू नो और नॉट. हेलो. मुझे बस इतना क्लियर कर दीजिए, आवाज़ क्लियर आ रही है, वीडियो इज क्लियर, आवाज़ वॉइस इज क्लियर, वॉइस इज क्लियर, आवाज़ क्लियर आ रही है. नमस्कार. नमस्कार फ्रेंड्स. बैकग्राउंड नॉइस के साथ आपको थोड़ा बेयर करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज ऑफ द फैन एंड अ लिटिल एसी नॉइस. ठीक है, कुछ लोगों को बैकग्राउंड नॉइस थोड़ा ज़्यादा आएगा, बट you have to see it. Most of them are saying audio is clear, voice is also clear, both are good. Thank you. Camera should be bent down, please. Let me switch off the backlight. I think it's much more better now. The backlight is switched off. So कोई भी questions हो आप पूछ सकते हैं regarding Godox के products. You can ask any question regarding Godox products and details about Godox products. Basically, let me introduce myself. I am Neel Bose. I am from Raipur. Past 2 years I have been working with Godox as a mentor. So any queries regarding the products of Godox, again basics of photography in commercial and fashion and wedding, you can ask any general question. Hi Ranjit, how are you? So any general questions you have of Godox products, you can go ahead and ask me any questions about the product, right from the AD200. Let me show possibilities of this, right from your AD200 till your 860 flash, so everything. So first question has come out. Planning to buy a S30, need more information. You see cost. Godox, you drop a question at Godox India page, the cost will be told to you. Naveen MR. And about the features, S30 is basically a 30 watt second light, which is more of a spotlight, and which has very few kinds of lenses, your Fresnel lenses with it, so you can create spots with various patterns and textures to do a little creative some of the face for portraits, backgrounds and everything. And more or less it's a 30 watt second light. So next question is cost and kit. You message down. If any Godox India representative is marketing is with me, kindly the cost when it is asked to mention it there, or you can message it on the Godox India page. Please tell about AD200, sir. AD200 is simple, nice 200 watt second flash, one of the best flashes. I always tell it a pocket side strobe, which has 3 modes to work with. One is the TTL mode, through the lens mode. The second is the manual mode in it. There's a manual mode in it, and third is the multi mode for stroboscopic photography. So basically these are the 3 modes which are there, and it's a 200 watt second light. As easily you get power plus benefits with 8200 as you get a bare bulb connection also, which gives around 1.5 stop light more, plus you have a roundhead also with the Godox 8200 you can buy separately, which gives you very nice lights. V1 फ्लैश बहुत मिसफायर हो रहा है. मिसफायर कौन? फरहान पटेल V1 फ्लैश में कोई मिसफायर किस सेंस में हो रहा है पहले आप देख लीजिए. कहीं गलती से तो वो प्री फ्लैश मोड में नहीं है या वो मल्टी मोड में तो नहीं है, उस कारण से भी बहुत बार होता है. Gokul 11 something about the AD300 Pro mount. It's with the proprietary it has a ring attachment with the proprietary Bose mount, Gokul, as well as it has your Godox mount. Both the mounts are there. Sir, Romil Gupta, Anand Rajuli, when I use AD200 bulb, uske baad sir, Anand, please complete the question. Romil Gupta, sir, strobe light and TTL light क्या फिर से available होगा? Yeah, it will be available 101%, Romil. Next question is, what's the next light to buy as a mid-range photographer for a mid-range photographer? What light you want? Jay Pushparaj Singh Rathore. What you want to ask about the power cable, power corded light, or the battery light? You just tell me that. Romil, price will be disclosed to you at the Godox India page very soon about the AD Romil 300 and Jay Pushparaj आप mention कर देंगे क्योंकि अगर आपको if you mention me then it will give a better idea कि you want the power cord light or the battery powered light. Difference between the tube and the flash. Okay, I will show you all the three differences. First is the regular Fresnel head of the 8200. Basically, it's more of your flash head which gives a straight direction light, rectangular light. It's a very hard light, and the bare bulb has 1.5 stops more of light and around 1 stop more of a light, and it's more like your, if you see these two bulbs, these two tubes are basically generates the power from here, and it's more of your like a strobe light. When you use a strobe light, it spreads the light rather than going direct. I will just if I can show you over here. Wait. So when we go with the normal flash head, it will get a straight flash, straight like your normal flash head does. But when we when we use a stroke, it will spread the light much more. You see, there is a spread of light. The light will spread. So more you can tell it's like a strobe. Like when we have studio strobes, Mr. Prakash Shetty, it's more like of a studio strobe. And the third attachment which you can buy separately is a roundhead attachment. Fit in and show you that also. It's more like a omnidirectional light which has a very nice soft feel to it. So the simple logic is the rounder the light, the more spread is there. So you need a nice spread of light. You will get a nice spread of light. So always a round head and bulb head will give much more spread of light when you use a nice diffuser or modifier, whereas the normal Fresnel head will give you a straight direction of light, a harder light. Difference क्या है प्रकाश? I hope you I gave your answer. शुभम, मैंने मेरे पास गोडॉक्स 8200 Pro है लेकिन ऑनलाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं हो रहा. I will definitely message your concerns to the Godox India team. They will definitely look at the things about Prakash. Shubham Parit. Hi sir, can you tell us which Godox continuous light best for indoor shoots? Sarvan, for videos or for photographs. Just make it clear for videos or for photographs. If you are concerned with battery powered light, if you want a battery powered light, then SLB 60, sorry, my mistake. SLB 60 is an ideal light which you can do video as well as your photo shoots also. And the new continuous light, which is the FV 150 and 200, which is a dual light, LED light as well as an LED flash, which you can use both, use both the things in it. That's a very nice light. And if you want a much more powerful light, then SL200, SL300 are very good continuous lights for video as well as photos. And these all lights can be set the regular modifiers, right from your octabox to your grids, to your snoods, to your rectangular softbox, to your steep stop blocks. Everything can be fit on it. Jugraj, be very clear. As you said, wait a second. Option in battery powered light or option in cable regular power light. Just to clear me that, then I can clear you this. Suresh Kolepara. Suresh, the Godox Flash 860 lock is not firing properly with Canon lock. You want to say on camera, then thanks. There might be some issue with your pin. Just check it. कोई issue होगा आपके pin के साथ. Arka Chakravarti, difference between 860 and V1. So I don't have a V1 right now, but I can clearly tell you a difference. These are the two heads that has a difference. These two heads are the basic difference. Both the power, voltage, everything, power guide number is the same. These are the two, both the things. This head is the basic difference. This will give more of a straight direction light, a harder light. This will give more of a softer spread out light, as I right now showed everyone. It will give much more spreader of a light, and this will give much more straight of a light, straighter light. So basically the head is the difference. Godox available. See, pricing, I can't say anything about the pricing right now. I can't say anything about the pricing right now, but availability of Godox product Nomel will be 100% there. Can you suggest the best tutorial to go through while integrating Godox flash with Sony cameras? To be very precise, Mr. Abhishek Goklani, Sony camera, Canon camera, Nikon camera, it's all there. Any tutorial you will say, there are many good tutorials. You can go to Godox personal site also, godox.com, Godox YouTube. You will find very interesting videos over there about the Godox flashes and uses of Godox flash. flashes. Especially one video is there, I will mention you about that. uh, Godox Photo Equipment is the Photo Equipment Co Limited is the YouTube channel, and there are quite a few good videos over there. I will share the link in the description. I will share the link in the description. So you can, after this session is over, I will share the link in the description of the YouTube channel. So you can go and see there. Maulik Solanki. How can you use 8200 from window in room like Sunflare? Use a grid with it. Use a grid with it, and use a grid with it. Or you want an outburst light, or use a grid with it for a sharp light. And if you want a broader light, then there is a S7 omnidirectional box which is very good. You can use that. Difference between 8200 and 8200 Pro Thamura is first and foremost. 8200 Pro is the professional series. Any Pro series, whenever any Pro series is in any of the Godox products, let me make it clear to everyone, whenever there is a Pro written right from your X, it's a professional series. 8200 Pro has a better light correction, color corrected light, with color consistent light bulb tube in it, and the recycling time is fine. There is a good heat management in it, and you have the facility of ID also in it. The Pro series, the regular series doesn't have these things. Where to use bulb and where to use normal flash head? Abhishek, to be very clear, one more thing, it's your preferred choice. If you want a harder, longer range of throw of light, आपको distance चाहिए light में, और longer range of light, a harder light, you don't want a spread out light, and you don't want to use a modifier, then any given day go with the Fresnel head, the rectangle head as we can say. But if you want to use good modifiers with it, proper modifiers, proper light shaping tools, as your octabox, as your rectangular softbox, as your strip boxes, your means your grids, your honeycomb grids, your snoots, then always go for a bare bulb, because it spreads the light. It requires any modifiers to shape the light and throw, whereas the regular Fresnel head or regular rectangle head has a straight through power. Hello Mohit. Godox shop service sales in Hyderabad. I think Godox people will surely tell you. Hello, how to use AD600 Pro in wedding. It depends, who is this? Bidhan, it depends. AD600 Pro in any given lighting. First of all, you have to understand what is the purpose of the use of your light. Secondly, what kind of a modifier you are selecting for it. What kind of a modifier you are selecting in it for it. And lastly is the output power you want. If you are shooting suppose reception or photos of the couples, or function of haldi, or a function of during the fairas, as we say, fairas or bedi as we say, so you need to know what kind of output power you want, how softer the light you want for it, and what kind of a modifier you want to use, because you can't set a fixed pattern of lighting for any weddings, because according to the scene, according to the place, everything changes. Jitendra Narayan wise, difference between off camera TTL performance and on camera TTL performance, what to look for the consistent performance of exposure. हाँ, there is nothing such of a major difference between on camera and off camera TTL, as it's still through the lens. Your zoom power, your ISO, and your aperture decides in the TTL, through the lens. Basically, the TTL works. The major thing about the TTL in any given flash se rather I will say flash as well as the trigger. Let me show this. These pins, these are the TTL pins. These are the TTL pins and the hypersync pins. These pins are, like, if these pins are also not working, the single pin, the center single pin is also working, then also the flash will fire, but the high speed sync and the TTL capabilities, you will lose it. You will lose the high speed sync and the TTL capabilities. So there is not much of a difference there. On the point, half a stop sometimes is the different, but not much of a different. And what should we look for consistently? Performance exposure. You have to understand your throw of light. It is reaching to the subject or not, and what amount it's reaching. Jitendra Narayan Verma, I'm telling it, amount where it is reaching and the consistency you see to of the light. That's the key factor. मैं एक साल में 4 गो लिया हूँगा. Didn't get your question. Sir, is there any sites tutorial to learn? Anuj, Kalsi, I will very soon after this lockdown gets over, or within a week, I will get the V1 very soon in my hand, because it was in my other studio. I have told them to bring it, and 101% you will see the sync of X Pro X1 trigger with the V1. With the V1 already in my ID Neel Bose, you can see 8200 settings and modifiers video in it, 860 settings and how to pair it. If you see the 860 video and how to pair it, 90% you will get an idea, so that it's the same. There is not much of a difference, but I will soon make it. And in internet, YouTube, go and see Robert Hall. You can see there Robert Hall's video. You can see there how to sync V1 with the AD-X Pro. Let me give you a clear demo how it works, then you will have an idea. It goes the same with the V1 also. Any V1 or any other product, you have to first click this button, okay, and you have to bring it to this orange kind of a background, and this is your mode button. See this, you have to come to the slave mode. This slave should be written. You on the trigger, you switch on the trigger and just now fire it off. See, it's firing. So, and the brand will come down over here. Suppose I'm using a Nikon. The most key important thing for any Godox flash, if you're using, you have to see this signal. This signal should come always for the trigger to get activated. If this signal doesn't come, you won't see the trigger to be activated or the trigger to be communicating with the flash. It's the same. But I will soon make a video, Anuj. सर प्लीज़ आप लोग रांची में आप लोग गोडॉक्स का वर्कशॉप दीजिए, लाइव वर्कशॉप दीजिए. वी विल ट्राई आवर वेरी बेस्ट, बट एज वी आर इन द लॉकडाउन, इफ़ यू मिस्टर मोहित दस्तूर मोहित, कुछ बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स के बारे में मैं अपने आईडी नील बोस में बना चुका हूँ लाइव, कैसे प्रोडक्ट्स को सिंक करते हैं. कल मेरा एक वीडियो आने वाला है X1 और X Pro, ऑलरेडी इंस्टाग्राम में तो हो चुका है ये वीडियो, कल फेसबुक में आने वाला है एक वीडियो कि X1 और X Pro का पूरा दोनों ट्रिगर्स का कंप्लीट सेटिंग क्या है, हिडन फीचर्स क्या है, इसके बारे में कल एक वीडियो में बहुत जल्दी बनाने वाला हूँ. Sir, difference between B and 600 Pro. First and foremost, राकेश रावल. राकेश जी, 8600 and 600 Pro, मैंने पहले ही एक चीज़ बताया था, the Pro series has a color consistent, color corrected tube which will give you a very stable color. There won't be much color shift. Okay. And as for the recycle time is better, the heat management is better. But one thing, the AD600 gives you more, and due to the picture tube, due to the bulb, the color comes very beautiful in it, very accurate in it. But one difference is there. I will be very clear about the 600B gives more flashes in full power, 1:1 power as compared to the AD600 Pro. I have two numbers of 8600 and want to upgrade because need more power. This is one of the most go through lights, 8200. Jay Pushparaj, you can go with this. And one more thing I will show you. Wait a second, I will show you one more thing. Another thing you can buy is this, the B2 head, where you can put two AD200s with two bulbs top and bottom and make it a 400 watt seconds of light, if you are compatible with it, and it's a very compatible system. So you can go with the AD200, or wait, the AD300 is coming. AD300 Pro is coming, AD400 is already there, AD300 Pro is coming soon, which has a very good 300 watt second light. So soon you will get a much more better option. Use of different modifiers with flash affects the angle of coverage. Let me see, it's a long question by Mr. Jitendra Sahu. Use of different modifiers with the flash angle of coverage, light, the distance, and what in case it doesn't affect the guide number. How is guide number and what seconds related? First and foremost, depends on the head. What kind of a head? I'm telling about the Godox product. Depends on what kind of a head you are using, Mr. Jiten Saw. First and foremost, if you are using a regular Fresnel head, then it will hit straight rather giving you a spreader light. So using a modifier will using the modifier will much more depend on the depth of the modifier. The deeper your modifier is, the softer the light you will get. The softer, the closer the modifier is from the size of the modifier, the harder the light you will get. And with the bare bulb, but it will have a straight pattern of light, not much of a spread of a light. But with the regular bare bulb and round head, you will get a much more spread of the light. And as for guide number and watt second, see, guide number is simply 10 feet into the 10 feet you keep the product into 100, and whatever the number comes, the aperture value comes 10 feet till the aperture value comes in your light meter is the guide number. Watt seconds is totally watt power per second. So guide number won't never be effective. Watt seconds might get effective because watt seconds is the output power. If you are putting a modifier, a deep modifier, a deep octa or a shallow octa or a regular or a grid, then the output power will change according to the modifier, but the guide number will be the same, the throw of light. What is the top line Godox flashlight to buy use on camera? V1 in 860. Outdoor Vishambhar Gohil. Outdoor studio light. 8600 Pro, 400 Pro, 300 Pro is coming soon, and if you want a pocket size outdoor studio light, 8200, but one of the best 1200 Pro is also coming soon. Very helpful. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Silesh. Prakash, I think the Godox team will help you out with the service center details. Service center, there's quite a few questions for service center teams. Is any LED rechargeable lightweight LED light which can be used mounted on DSLRs? There are quite a few nice LEDs in the Godox staple. There are quite a few, and there are quite a few new coming out, have come out this year with the Godox series. So you can easily, I will just give you a few names of the LED lights so you can go through them. Like the F308 is an excellent new light, as well as let me just give you the overview because F308 is 300, VL300 is a new light. VL is a studio. On camera, if you say the 308 is a good light, there is a 260, Mr. Lalit Nagada. So 308 is a good light. 260 you have. Then Nikhil Kulkarni, I have a Godox 8200 Pro, and what's the light and what is the light effect difference between Fresnel head and wearable when we could use this? As I told you, Nikhil, a few moments back I replied this answer. Fresnel head always give you a straight light, straight, direct, centered light, hard light. And when you use modifier also, it will throw straight, it will go straight, it won't spread out. And when you use a round head or a bare bulb, it won't hit straight. It's more like of your studio strobes ring, the flash ring. It will always spread out. So if you use a normal Fresnel head, straight also, you don't need a modifier, but and it will give you sufficient power and through. But with a bare bulb, you always have to use a modifier, because until and unless you give the shape with the strobe, you won't get the output accordingly. So I always suggest, if you are using modifiers, go with the bare bulb. If you are using modifiers, and if you are using the Fresnel head or the regular head, then go with the attaching modifiers, which helps to bounce the light and give a softer pattern, but it will never give you a spread of light. The Godox team will very well answer this, how to identify the Chinese product or Indian export. I have no clues, but I think Ranjit will give the answer to you. Yeah, it's used, but don't use a Mr. Maulik Solanki. But don't use too bigger. This is a small off the box that comes with the Godox product. You can use this. It's an excellent light to work with. The Thamuram, the basic difference is the guide number. The guide number is much more higher of a 8200 as compared to the 860. So there is much more power output there in the 860 flash as at the 8200 flash as compared to the 860. This is Mr. Pravesh Laha. You said you have E5 error. This is an error which comes due to overheating. This is an error which is coming due to overheating. Especially the problem majorly occurs with the 350 and 685 flash because of overheating, you not using the good quality rechargeable cell. This E5 error is due to the overheating of the flash. Let me clear three things about this E, which will help you all very clearly about what the issues comes when you are not seeing to the products and its details. Let me just give you an overview. Just let me give you an overview. The three E's that come. Just 1 second. I'm very clear. Please note this three down. You will have a much more benefit when using the Godox light. The E1, the E2 and the E5 that comes out. See, the E3 which has come, it's due to the high voltage of light. E3 when it comes, it's due to the high voltage of the light. E2 is due to the overheating of the light, and even when it comes, it's due to it will stop the recycling time. It will not recycle properly, and flash won't power. So you should see to the proper connection of it. And the E2 is for overheating, and due to the E3 is due to the high voltage in the flash tube. So see to it if your piece is correct and the batteries that you are seeing is correct. The E5 is due to the overheating of the flash. How are the benefits from 8200 Pro with the ID? Mr. Jiten Sahu, to be very clear, the 8200 Pro or any Pro series has an ID setting. I don't have a Pro, but I will tell you the ID series benefits with the trigger only. It's not with the X1 trigger. When you go inside the flash, let me come on here. This is the ID thing. This is the ID thing. Whatever ID number you give over here, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to I think it's 50 is here. Whatever ID number you give, when you go inside the function of any Pro series light, the 8200 Pro, 400 Pro, 600 Pro, there is also a function of ID. You have to set the same ID number inside it. Now it's a custom ID number. Suppose you are working and anyone in cross has the Godox light and you don't need to change your channel in it. If he is using channel 1, you are using channel 1, then due to the ID number, it will fire. It's a custom dedicated ID number for that product as well as your trigger. 8300 Pro, as it is said, we haven't yet have it in our hand. It's an announcement with a 300 watt second light, much closer to the 8400, and it's a beautiful light. Soon the details will come out as we get in hand, means proper details. I always prefer the bulb in 8200, but the problem is there is no modeling lamp. So we can't help it out with this. If you prefer the bulb, there are few restrictions because we cannot fix high. This can help you out. This thing can, if you buy this, you can use a single bulb also in it, and this is the LED light will help you with the. You can use two 8200s with it or a single 8200 with it, and this is an LED light. These both. So this will help you out when you on the modeling bulb. It will help you out as a modeling bulb. These LED lights. Other than you can't help out because there is nothing else in the bare bulb to assist you in modeling lights. In what situation will barn door be useful in QT600? Whenever you are using a grid, if you want to stop the spill of a light from a particular direction to your subject, you can use the barn door. Totally please explain 8300. Totally please explain 8200, 300, 600. Where when these lights are using Thamuram, to be very clear, it's your question is the answer. 8200 is a 200 watt seconds light, 300 is a 300 watt seconds light, 600 is a 600 watt seconds light. So there is a major power difference from 200 to 600 is means just 3 times the light. 300 to 600 double the power of the light. Where to use is your preferred choice. If you want more output from your strobe, you have to have a higher power light. To be very clear, I always say one thing. Suppose you buy at 8200, you can't push it up to 8600, the power output. But if you have a 8600, you can push down it to the 8200. And where to use depends on your choice, because if you are, suppose in a wedding, if you are wedding reception, if you are covering a large stage, 8200 won't support you any given day that much as compared to an 8600 or a QT600 or a QT1200. And same goes if you want a very compact light, you don't want much of a power, suppose for close-ups, portraits, such a thing in a wedding scenario or a pre-wedding scenario, then 8200 is very good. But if you want very nice control of high-speed sync, which you can see in my page or in my profile or on Instagram, high-speed sync light controls, then 8600 is much more effective as compared to the 8200. Devashish Verman, 8300 available in India. It's not right now available. Soon the details will be on the Godox India page. Please tell about Godox 685 and 862. Already there is a live session. You can go through and check it, because basic difference between the two is the lithium ion battery and your regular pencil cell. Sir, Godox X Pro Nikon trigger can be used for Canon camera. No, sorry, it can't be used. See, this is the key factor. Understand, this is a key thing. This is a key thing. If you put it on single, the high speed sync and the TTL won't work. The X2 trigger can be controlled with the Android app. The X2 trigger can be, the new X2 trigger can be controlled with the Android app of Godox, because it has a Bluetooth feature in it. You can but can't use TTL and no, you can use it. To be very clear, see, I will show you. Where is this? This is the TTL. Let me change it to the TTL. See, this indication should always come into your flash. This H, this is the indication of a high speed sync. So high speed sync and TTL can 101% be used. Functionally it can be used, but it won't give the sufficient. I have to correct little Ranjit here. Okay. Off camera flash bounce mode can TTL work properly. I doubt TTL won't work properly bounce mode, because the light is going up, it will calculate where the light is going and it will give a reading. Manual will work much more better. Sir, Siliguri West Bengal में workshop चाहिए. Take a note to the Godox India team. No, X Pro doesn't have, the X2 has. X2 has. According to my information, the X2 has. No, on camera you can't use. On camera you can't use. Off camera you can use. Off camera I will tell you, see, because this is a Canon series lens. This is a Canon series. Okay, this is a Canon series. If I set it to the remote mode, the S mode, channel 1, let me show this. This is a Sony flash. This is a Sony flash, as you can see. Let me show it. You can see the S over there. This is a Sony flash. So off camera it will but my trigger is an icon trigger. This is a Sony flash, but my trigger is an icon trigger. Let me put it on my camera. Off camera it will 101% work. But you can't, if you want to mount it, there is a single pin function. You mount it, but the TTL and the Mr. Gaurav Mitra, the TTL and the your high speed sync won't work with it. V1 has not a color corrected tube. No, it doesn't have a tube. I don't have any clue about it. You can use a smoke machine. Sir, if possible, please share some very effective tips and tricks for Godox flashes. Jay Pushparaj, if you go through my ID, you will see quite a few live sessions about the Godox flashes and the triggers and its settings. Sir, if we use 2 or more triggers simultaneously, flash modeling lamp gets switched off automatically. Is there anything we can, how we can, you have to on the modeling lamp function in it, in both the triggers. One might be off and one might be on. That's where the problem comes in. You have to switch on both the functions in it. I'm trying to update my Godox flash firmware, but it's not working. Lakshman Netha, go and see my ID Neel Bose, Neel Bose, my Facebook ID. If you scroll down 1 week back, you will see a complete live session on how to update your Godox firmware with the G1, G2, G3 software. You have to see to which software is supporting which. You just go to Mr. Lakshman, you will see it. Shri Krishna Joshi, is it light meter required or in camera light meter is sufficient? It's all subjective. We require a light meter. If you don't want, it's all subjective and it's all to your personal choice. हिंदी में मिस्टर रविंद्र रघुनाथ, अगर आप मेरी आईडी जाएंगे हिंदी में, उसमें बहुत डिटेलली बताया गया है, आप देख सकते हो उसमें. सर विच वन इज द बेस्ट फ्लैश फॉर वेडिंग पर्पस? सी, if you are more into wider spread of lights, then I will recommend an 860. But in bounce flash, if you are more using of a bounce flash, I will recommend a 860. But if you are using direct with the nice AKR1 kit for a softer light, then I will always recommend a V1 to you. Any lights for iPhone? Yes, there is a new light series for your mobile, which is called the RGB Mini Creative Light M1 series. There is an M1 series of lights for mobiles and R1 series for mobiles. There is a new series which has come down. Mr. Shirish, 860 on camera. If you say 860 and V1, anyone you can go for. Mr. Prabal Gogoi, if you just make a small video of the issue and post it in Godox India's page, message box, then it will be much more easy to us and see the issue that you are facing, so we can send you back with the details or send you a small video how to correct it. Don't try to overheat it. Don't overheat your flash, or it will also overheat your battery. As well as don't constantly charge it. Charge it till it's around 20 to 30%, then give it a charge and keep it very safely. Don't overheat it, because in India we have an issue to overheat our products a lot. That's a major issue. I may get the firm but not connect the flash cable, not connect till now. Paresh Mistri ji, I clearly told you, just go and it's a request, humble request to you. Just go and see I will put down the link also of the firmware update today in the Godox India page. You will be very clear the cable 860 flash 860. I have a 860 over here. Here is the 860. Here is the cable socket for you. Here is the cable socket where you will install it. Here is the cable socket for you in the 860. And the procedure is clearly given in it, how to upgrade the firmware. Keep it a little charge, Mr. Suresh, and in between time just make in between within 5 to 6 days or 1 week time, just do some pre-clicking or flashings of it. It will help you out to keep the for a long period. Don't just keep it ideal. Full charge also, if you do time to time in a week or 10 days time, just do few switch on the your device and just do few pre-clickings of your flashes or tubes or bulbs or your strobes. It will help you to for the battery to be in proper condition. If I am not wrong, yeah, it's very correct, Mr. Rakesh ji. It's very correct. The output is the same, only the recycling time has been increased because it's the same battery. The output is the same, but the recycling time from one click to another has increased in the 8600 Pro, so there is a lesser number of shots. Jitenji, I just told a few minutes back the few tips. Don't overheat it, and don't continuously charge it until, and don't make it always together totally dead. When it's around 20 to 30%, then only charge the battery. For pre-wedding photography, which light is best? Mr. Nayan Joshi, NYN, Nayan Joshi, see very clearly, 8200 is a very compact light, easy to carry, and 8600 is a very professional, strong, high power strobe. So it depends on your comfort or compatibility. If you're well off using an 8600, carrying it, putting it out, then always go on for a 8600. But if you are want a compact product, compact thing, very lightweight, very easy to carry, then always go for a 8200, because the power difference is much more different. The 8600 has a much more higher power than a 8200. Shivam Nair, will 8400 work? It depends on the size of stage. It depends on the size of stage. And Shivam, I will always recommend one thing: rather than going for a battery powered light for a stage shoot, you should always use a AC power adapter, either in the 8400, 600 or 600 Pro, I think. Yeah, it's good, Mr. Maulik Solanki. Yeah, it's good, Mr. Shivam Nair, 8400 Pro. So I think Mr. Gautam Ranveer, I will share a link. If you go in my ID Neel Bose, if you scroll back down a little, in a week before I made a complete video on. I will share the link in this live. The complete video how to update your firmware of your Godox product. You go and see 101%. You will see it. Mr. Rushang, see, there is no basic. You have to understand. आपको सब्जेक्ट को समझना पड़ेगा और उसके हिसाब से लाइट को सेटअप करना पड़ेगा. With my Nikon camera, I use 860N as on camera flash regularly. I face a fire delay in flash. If Mr. Deepak Kumar, Sai Sandeep Deepak Kumar, I always tell, see, when you say these things, it's better you make a small video of it, small video with your mobile, and if you put it in the Mantos inbox or in the Godox India inbox, it will be much easier to us to see what mistake you are doing, because without seeing, we also are these are such problems. Until and unless we don't see it, we can't understand about it. Kiran, I have already told the update about firmware update. I will share it today only. So most of the questions are done, as it's time over now. Thank you very much for your quite a long number of questions have come, basically with the same things, the same issues. And as for the firmware update, the 8200 Pro, I will share today's in the live box. I will share the videos with you. You can easily go through with the 860 its uses, and its how to sync it with the trigger. The 8200 series, the hidden features of it, and the firmware update. So this is how we can. I will share the links with you all. so you can easily see to it. Especially if you guys have quite a few questions on how to do the firmware update, I will share the link. You can easily go and see and do the firmware. It's very easy to do. So take care, stay safe. Bye. Thank you.